Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef, and that's a broadcast.
Welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. I'm your host, Jamal. We're back at it yet again. This is season 4, episode 5 of the podcast, but we're doing season 3, episode 5 of Top Chef. Everyone's got it. Please, everyone, go like us and follow us on like our post and follow us on Twitter at PodChef Podcast and on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Don't look at who we're following.
Yeah, do us. I decided to say that at the top of the episode instead of the end because I'm not sure how many people finish a marathon. You know,
they're a good length. An hour 15 or less is a good podcast length.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know how many people actually finish a marathon. And I don't want people to get to the end of this episode and like their legs are giving out, and then they don't have the energy to go to Apple Podcasts or go to our Twitter page and just give us a quick follow. So, getting out there right now.
Yeah, it seems like the momentum has worn out for the reviews, at least.
Oh, hold on, Brian. Hold on a second. Be quiet. I want to introduce to us with me always is my co-host, Reeves. Say what's up, Reeves.
Hey, guys. What's up? I don't know anything about our social media. We talked about it before the record, and it was like basically it was just gibberish what they were saying to me. But I know that it's an important thing, so do what they tell you to do and follow us. And be our friends. And don't look at who we're following.
And with Reeves, as always, is his co-host, Third Mike. Say hello.
Hello.
Perfect. All right, so we're here. We're doing it. Let's get right into it. I want you guys to know something this week. Big news. Big news. Big, huge news. I went to the zoo this week.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And is that chef what I ever prepared for you?
No.
I went to the zoo, got some food.
I went to the zoo and got some food inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of hard to find elephant meat.
It depends. If you're the head of the NRA, you found it. Do you guys see that?
Yeah,
news?
but I didn't want to go through
news?
that. I didn't want to go through that again.
Did you see that what that guy did and his wife?
No, I didn't. So
they had like gone to Africa to hunt elephants, and which is illegal, and they did it, and they sent back their trophies home. They like did it like, illegally, and what they were was like an elephant's foot, where it was just like the bottom part, and then the top had become a table, like a stool table thing, like a side table, the elephant's foot. What the fuck are you doing?
So, just real quick, were these Puerto Rican people? Were they black? Were they Native American? Were they?
Oh, I see where this is going.
Were they Japanese? Were they?
Let's see if it goes long enough that it gets in trouble again.
Were they Middle Eastern? Were they from Norway, perhaps? Or
they could have been. I mean, I don't know if they're from Norway.
My question is, were they in the melanin category or non-melanin category? Where they would travel to a different country to kill animals in that country, not for food, just for fun and sport.
For a side table.
Yeah, for a side table that they could have bought at IKEA.
Could have bought at
IKEA. So answer the question.
I am only assuming, because I didn't read the article, I just saw a picture.
What were they?
And from what I know about the people who are involved in NRA, which of course for those who don't know is the National Rifle Association.
National Rhinoceros Association.
They were white.
Okay.
Much like myself and Reeves.
Yes.
Oop, cat's out of the bag. Reeves is white.
That's right.
That is a reveal. That is a reveal. A lot of people didn't know that.
Big reveal.
Now they know.
I feel like maybe one of the first episodes we all set our race along with maybe our heights. But
I think that is
a good reminder.
I think I said I am Zuluan, and Reeves said he's Viking, and Brian said he's Brooklynite.
I live in Jersey, so now
you didn't live in Jersey in the first episode.
I didn't.
Yeah, so he's a Brooklynite. So people hunted. I don't understand that. I'll never get that.
You went to the zoo?
Yeah. So I went to the zoo and just looked at an elephant and just
Yeah.
said, "Oh, hey, nice to see you. Thanks for making the trip." It was walking on the path from one pen to another, and it was slowly just on a stroll. And I was like, "Good for you." Early in the morning, just taking a stroll. I went around and saw the big cats because here's why I decided to go to the zoo. I was getting ready to take my morning walk, and as soon as I step outside, I hear the lion roaring. The lion is roaring his head off, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go say hello. I said, you know what? There's been too many days where like we wake up at the same time, and I'm out the house, he's out the house, and like I keep saying I'm gonna go say hello, I'm gonna go say hello, and I don't do it. So this time I said I'm gonna go say hello, and I did. I walked to the zoo. I live right by it, so it was like 5 minutes walk. And I had
Fans,
to.
don't go looking for Jamal, though. Don't
Yeah.
go looking for his house. He doesn't
Yeah.
want to meet you.
I don't want to meet you. I got to the zoo and I had to reserve on my phone a free ticket to get in. I couldn't
COVID.
just walk in.
COVID.
And then I had to check a bunch of boxes that I didn't read that basically said wear your mask. And then I got in and I was roaming around the park, and then I went right to the big cats, and I was like, there he is. I took a big picture of him because by the time I got there, he was roared out because he was sleeping again.
Yeah, he gets so sleepy. He wakes
got
up,
so
he says
sleepy.
hello to everyone,
Yep,
and he's
he
like,
said-
oh, God, I gotta go to sleep.
Yeah, he got his coffee and then quickly passed out afterwards. And I was like, talk about Tuesday. So I saw the tiger. The tiger was up, was pacing. The lionesses were sleeping. What else did I see? Saw some mules. Saw some horses. Zebra.
Pandas?
Didn't see a panda. Didn't see any bears. Did see some monkeys. There was an orangutan that was up on the swinging wires, so that was interesting.
I like the like gorilla hothouse there.
The hot house? You mean the ape house?
Yeah,
Why'd you call it hot house?
it's warm in there.
It's like a sauna.
It's like a sauna.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're all trying to lose some weight.
They all got most of them have the towels on, some of them don't. And they're like, hey, we all got it, right? Ain't nothing you ever seen before.
Yeah. And when you come
You're
in,
right.
everyone's like, close the door, close the door, close the door.
Yeah.
And they put a little water on the rocks.
So I couldn't get into that because the line was too long and it was just all women waiting to get in.
And why is that?
Well, when you got some big muscular gorillas wearing towels, that might
Okay,
that
all
might
right.
drop off, you know.
So they were
Te-
doing
Tends
Animal
to
House.
attract a certain kind of clientele.
Mhm.
So, and then there's also a showers that they installed, so the gorillas were showering outside.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
nice. They got
It
like a
was
whole
listening.
gym there.
It's truly a whole gym there. But yeah, then I walked around looking for the exit to go on Connecticut Avenue. And I took a wrong turn, so I had to walk all the way through the zoo again to get back on the main.
What? I've never
I
heard
thought-
of anyone getting lost in this zoo.
I thought that I had reached a parking lot, and all it was a parking lot on the side. And so I turned left, thinking that, oh, this must not be the main path. And boy, was I wrong, because I had to do a whole circle around the zoo and come back to the same path and just walk past that parking lot. And I was like, oh, the path turns left. Okay, that's good to know.
And you didn't get any food there?
No food. Didn't need any food. I got food at home. So, yeah.
Were the animals eating any food or cooking any food?
Okay. I'm glad you asked. I'm so glad you asked. I went by, let's see here. There was, birds were making scrambled eggs.
Okay.
I saw some of those, what are those little prairie dogs?
Yeah.
They were making, they were grilling hot dogs.
Okay.
The elephants were eating corn.
They can do that.
Corn and peanuts. They had corn and peanuts, which Look out for the back end of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably gonna come out messy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And Brian, how are you feeling about all of this?
Do you want my thoughts on this?
Hold on. The
Okay.
cats had slabs of steak sitting out on the hot stones, and they were grilling those.
Okay.
So yeah, the animals were cooking. They were cooking.
Okay.
None of them were eating in front of people. I think they were shy. Also, like, you don't want to eat while people are just staring at you.
Yeah,
Especially while kids are literally saying stuff like, this is literally what I heard when the lion was sleeping. That kid was like, "Can I throw something at him so he's not boring?" It's like, okay, that's future leader of America.
So that kid was a Biden?
Yeah, that kid was a Biden.
Brian, you look so disengaged.
No,
All right, we'll cut all of this. We'll cut all of this in. I thought this might be an interesting story, but apparently I'm putting my own host to sleep, so that's fine.
I
Brian looks so
I want to give my thoughts. I will give my thoughts in a question.
Mm-hmm.
If I had told this story,
Yeah.
what would your reaction have been?
Oh, that it sucks.
You would have destroyed me, and you
Oh,
would have
yeah.
been like, everyone's saying on the comments that it was too long.
Oh yeah, I definitely would have. But don't do that for me.
No, I loved it. I loved the
liked
zoo.
it.
I've told in this podcast before, one of the things my wife and I would love to do would eat sushi and go to zoo lights, and we go to the monkeys, see the apes. They're always sleeping, hanging out. Those dudes sleep with their hands behind their heads.
Yeah,
they're chilling like they're in a hammock. They're
so
awesome.
relaxed. Yeah, they're
Okay.
living life.
I don't really like that you're kind of making the story more interesting now that you're telling it.
Is that not the point of it?
So why don't we just end the story here, okay? Long story short, you can just skip, and I went to the zoo. Let's move on.
I liked it. I thought it was interesting.
Reeves, Reeves, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Did you get anything from Tom this week?
Oh, did I get anything from Tom? Well,
Yeah.
Let me check.
Like
my
a
emails.
package? I got a package from him.
You got a
You
package?
got a package from Tom?
Yeah.
What was in it?
Okay, and then everyone who's listening, let's get ready for this bit.
Buckle in. Buckle up. It was a package. It was like a padded envelope, and I opened it, and there was a tape in it, like a little cassette tape. But I don't have a cassette player,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Oh, so that's where this ends.
Yeah. I can't play it. I don't have a cassette player, and no one who I live near has one either. I've asked all of my neighbors if they have cassette players.
We gotta find. I wonder what's on that. We gotta find one.
Yeah, I think I'll find someone's got to have one, right? There's got to be some DJ who lives on my block, right?
Well, there's got to be. You're in West Orange, right?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
DJ City.
Yeah, lots of DJs there.
it is DJ City, and maybe I'll cut this.
Guys, should we do a new opening? I'm going to be quite honest. I wasn't in my head about it until you mentioned it. I'm rethinking how fucking boring it was. So maybe we should do it over because, God, I'm glad I did the, hey, go like us now because people turned off from this fucking episode. I'll tell you that right now.
People stick around. Reeves has something.
I don't think we need to re-record anything.
We don't have time.
If you want to edit some of the things down, listen. We know a lot of our fans.
I tell you what, edit the part where I say I went to the zoo and cut the rest. Just do the part where I said I went to the zoo this week. There was an awkward pause, anyways. So just cut after that. And speed us up to where we are right now.
Reeves and I will both give a reaction to you saying I went to the zoo this week, and I'll cut everything.
You'll cut everything to
just
here.
for us reactions. All right,
Okay,
Reeves,
ready?
you can go first. All right, I will cue you in. All right,
Okay.
5, 4.
Oh, cool. That sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm. I like that one.
All right, will someone count me down, and then I'll do a reaction too.
5, 4, 3,
No, you didn't.
Okay. And then we'll just cut from me saying I went and get those 2 reactions and then cut us up to right here where we are. Okay.
Okay.
Great.
It's a lot of work for Brian, though, so it's good that
I'm not gonna do any. I think this is funnier than that.
Trust
I think
me. Trust me. It's worth work.
I think the payoff for this is good.
Goodness gracious.
There's
something about this COVID. I'm not funny anymore.
That's not true. We're all very funny.
That's the side effect no one's talking about.
You lost your funny.
Yeah, that's the side effect no one's talking about.
I mean, it's true. If I can't smell a fart to call it out, I'm not nearly as funny as I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. You're losing all things you smell and touch and experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's all just visual and audio, and that's not what's funny.
No, that's what Seinfeld did.
Yeah.
Let's see where that got him.
Yeah.
Semi-canceled.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say dead or something, but I guess he's fine.
All right, so you got a
3,
package.
2.
Yep.
All right.
So I did get an email from Tom. He sent me another scene from the Top Chef movie.
Nice.
Can't wait.
Nice.
Yep. He didn't write anything. It was just, again, there was an attachment. And this time I clicked on it. It was just like a picture of like him. Yeah, just like hanging out. He was just hanging out at his apartment, like kind of like posing a little bit. And I was like, I don't think
like
you
a
meant
candid photo of him just at his apartment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And I was like, I don't think you meant to send this to me. And he said, yes, I did. And then he responded with the attachment of the script. So I don't.
Okay.
I'm not gonna read too much into that. But anyway, so I got the next scene here. Do you guys want to hear it?
Yeah, should we give it?
Absolutely want to hear it.
If anyone skipped last week's episode, should we give them a quick little recap of the first scene?
Do you have a quick recap of the first scene?
I can try to do it.
You want to do it? Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Third mic. Go ahead.
Well, this is the practice of how I retain information. So it's the future, we think, and Tom wakes up in his apartment and he's got a bottle of Jack in one hand and a spatula in the other. Wakes up and he's feeling like crap and he looks out the window. Oh, first of all, he looks very cool. He looks like black people like him. He looks at the window. We see a billboard of Padma that says says 8 more years for president of the world for Padma. He gets ready to go out the door, looks at a picture, a framed photo next to his door of all the bald people from Top Chef.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "My friends, I miss you."
Mm-hmm.
Opens the door, gets ready. Oh yeah, there's a junkie in the hallway who asks him for a little piece, a amuse bouche, anything that he could spare.
Mm-hmm.
Tom kicks him to the side. He doesn't like homeless people.
That was not in the script.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
He gives him nothing though. He says, "Get a job," and he thinks get a job. And then he goes outside, and then a nice car pulls up. Oh, yeah, a BMW X3 Series BMW pulls up. And it's Cuisinart Bot 3000. And he says, "Get in the car or else."
Mm-hmm.
Is that what he says?
More or less. I think he just says.
I think it was Cuisine Art, right? Cuisine Bot.
Cuisinart Bot 3000.
I don't think there was art. I think it was just Cuisine Bot 3000.
It's Cuisinart Bot 3000.
That's the brand. That's the brand of robot.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, everyone's caught up now.
Everyone's caught up. Great. We can jump right into it, which actually is great because that's almost exactly where this leads or left off.
Nice.
Okay. Here we go. The BMW X7 RAV4 speeds down an abandoned 405.
Nice.
Specifics. It's 8 a.m. outside, but it looks like midnight. The sky is pitch black and full of smog and pollution. And again, you guys, if you have like notes or anything like that, that's what Tom said he was looking for.
He wants notes.
So,
We're a little writer's group now.
Yeah. Okay. They arrive at a large and dingy factory with a sign on the top that says bakery.
Okay, so here's my first note. Let's
Mhm.
just what kind of factory? Let's give it an actual name, right? Other than bakery. Like
Okay.
where could they be? Are they at the Cuisinart factory?
Well, I think we're
Does that
kind of
work?
when we get more into it, we get into specifics, and maybe like part of
Okay.
this is like the reveal of what it turns out to
Oh,
be.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
But I mean, if you want to
Okay.
paint what the factory looks like more, I think I like that.
Yeah. I want to
The
know.
way that you said it, I pictured it like you know, like a Oliver Twist style factory.
Yeah, like really like dirty and old, kind of industrial almost.
Yeah, full of
Mhm.
like soot covered children.
Yes,
Such.
very
Mm.
Dickens.
Mhm,
hmm
mhm.
Yes. Okay. All right. That's good enough. Um. Okay. Tom gets out of the car, and before he can turn around, Cuisinart Bot 3000 is gone. Just a black dot in the distance. Wow, what a
Wow.
fast and affordable car.
Does Tom want to put
Mhm.
something in there about the miles per gallon? Because I feel
Yeah,
like
maybe how
that
good
will
on gas it
bring
is.
in like environmentalists to be like, and it's environmentally friendly. Wow.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, and there's a lot of options. Here's the
Yeah.
miles per. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel
Mhm.
like okay, that's good. I think Tom's character in the movie should do that.
What a fast and affordable, g- uh, good on gas,
Hmm. Fuel
s-
efficient, I think is the word.
almost infinitely upgradable.
hmm
Hmm.
I like if there's an and between
Customizable.
all of these. It's
Yeah.
not like a
Jamal,
list.
do you not like the words that I'm using, Jamal? It seems like my brain doesn't find the words that you like.
Well, my brain is thinking in terms of how cars are sold. They don't say infinitely modifiable. They say customizable.
Mm.
And fuel efficient. Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
I
and
think those are
fuel
better.
efficient.
I think you know
Yeah.
what? I'll take those notes.
I'm just trying to ground the script in some realism. That's all.
Mhm. That's fair.
Good, thank you. It needed it.
Real specifics. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So Tom walks up to the door. A retinal scan is done on his eye. There is a loud beep and the door opens. He walks
Hmm?
inside a small corridor and turns into a room on the right. He opens the door and walks into what appears to be some kind of employee break room. On his way to the lockers in the back, he walks by a small group of employees. They are all huddled around a portable stove. There's a lot of shushing and giggling. They are quietly trying to control their excitement. Just then, a small child in the crowd looks up and realizes Tom is there. Small child, what? Mr. T is here? Do the thing. Do the thing, Mr. T. There's a.
Okay, so
Mhm.
I won't stop there.
Mhm.
Might have trouble calling him Mr. T.
Okay,
in
so
the
that's what
film.
I was thinking
That
too.
might be a copyright thing.
Yes.
So
Because there's another Mr. T, and he probably has that trademarked, I would assume.
yeah, I think Mr. Ice T does have that trademark.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like he's trying to will this,
Yeah.
nickname onto himself.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Ice T has had that nickname as Mr. T for his whole life. No one else has had it. And so
Yeah.
when people say Ice Mr. T, you think of Ice T, the rapper.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're
Mhm.
like, Mr. T, you're like, how come no one made a tea brand called Mr. T? That would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's
So
a good
you
point.
might have to call him Mr. TC.
Mr. TC. I actually really like that. That
Yeah.
kind of like scans nice. Mr. TC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
Do the
Say
thing.
the thing.
Do the thing.
thing.
Do the thing, Mr. TC. Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a description here. The small child is played by Marcel.
Okay.
So everyone starts clamoring for Tom. Excuse me. Tom goes, okay, okay. He walks over to the stove and sees a sizzling omelet in a small rusty pan. Tom grips the skillet with one hand and in a firm yet gentle manner flips the omelet seamlessly to the other side. The crowd goes fucking nuts for this. And they are right.
Mm.
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Tom coolly walks away
Did
from
you
the
say
group.
slow mo twirl with the? when he flips it over? Because I feel like a nice, good slow mo greased turn would be great for this shot.
And maybe the camera kind of pans along with and like sees
all
like
around
whatever,
it,
and you get a 180 on it. Yeah.
Yep, it
Yeah.
jumps up, freezes, spins around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And catches it on the other side as it's landing. Yeah, that'd be great.
We could do that.
Yeah. It's definitely that awesome camera for the NBA that they use.
The really
that
nice
called?
one.
That the NBA got from the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the NBA stole from the Matrix.
Yeah, and maybe we can, the nicer camera they use as like players are leaving the court, where it's like cleaner. Maybe we can use that for like this scene as he's like walking away.
Yeah,
that'll look really cool.
Yeah. So the next part here is it says Tom coolly walks away from the group and towards his locker. He grabs a smock from inside and he hears a familiar voice from behind him. The voice says, "Thought they put you down, old man." Tom, it'll take more than a dozen of those bucket heads to put this old dog down.
Okay.
There's
like it.
There's a parenthetical here that says he's joking about the old part. Okay. Tom turns around to see his friend, Romy. Romy is played by one of the breakout stars of the hit movie Hobbs and Shaw and also current WWE Universal Champ Roman Reigns.
Nice.
They slap hands together and hold for a second or two to reveal their bulging biceps.
And right here's another opportunity for the camera to pause and swirl around their biceps so you get a 360 of both their arms because they're both jacked.
Mm-hmm. It says here, both are in great shape, but Tom's arm is bigger.
Tom's got a very powerful agent.
Mm-hmm. Just then, shots ring out. They both look over at the stove and see people scattering in different directions. A Quizen bot or Artbot 3000 has a hold on one of the people from the crowd.
Uh-oh.
This is the crowd capturer. "Let me go. I didn't cook. The crowd capturer is Childish Gambino.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's going to put a lot of butts in seats.
I think so. Okay. The robot. "You know the rules, humanoid. By law, cooking is prohibited and punishable by death."
Whoa.
The robot slowly raises his arm blaster. Tom jumps in front of Childish Gambino. I think they should probably put the character name here. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
He holds his hand up in front of the robot. Tom, "Whoa, take it easy, amigo. Everybody here is cool. Let's cool down."
Can you put that in?
Mm-hmm. That's how he talks, I guess, to his friend. I don't know. The robot. Tom's right arm moves to his back. His hand slowly moves towards a spatula he has duct taped to his back. An alarm sounds loudly in the background. The loudspeaker. "Attention all workers. The workday has begun. Report to your stations immediately." The robot's eyes fade from red to black. It turns and walks away. Childish Gambino. "Thanks, Mr. T." I guess we have to change that to Mr. TC. "I thought I was a goner for sure." Tom. "Of course, my friend." He does the Wakanda Forever arm thing to him.
Now, here's my question.
Gambino gladly.
Hold on. Okay, here's my question. When he says, "Thanks, my friend," yes. I feel like TC would say, "Thanks, my bald friend."
Yes, that's a good point. He probably would specify that. Yes. Okay, my bald friend.
I'm glad Childish Gambino gave him the Wakanda arm single back. That's really nice. I was worried that he wouldn't do it.
I feel like, it's an interesting choice. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Tom is confused in some way, and that's why he put that in there. But I don't know. Maybe it comes back around. Okay. Tom and Romy walk over to their stations. Tom slowly ties his smock behind him as he looks at the floor. He grabs some flour and throws it on the table. Tom, "It's time to bake." And that's the scene.
Oh my god!
Wow!
This is fucking no pun intended. This is heating up.
Yeah,
I mean, we're in the kitchen. We're heating up.
I think so.
So in this world, cooking is illegal, and they're forced to bake.
They're forced to bake. And he's at a factory that's named the Bakery, or just Bakery, maybe.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I mean, you can talk to Tom about this, but you know how we have a running gag of Trey Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way we can slide that in this movie?
It would be
If we can get
nice because it would
some
kind of
stuff that's like a nod.
us.
Yeah, so it's a nod to the podcast that he's making us do. So I feel like if we could get some stuff, like if you could get a scene with a baby, and like Tom's like, "Congratulations and condolences," like I feel like that would be, people will immediately be like, "Pod Chef."
Yeah.
What if in the bakery they're just forced to listen to Pod Chef all day? It like plays over the speakers.
It's in
Or
the
it's like
background.
someone has their like headphones in and they're like laughing really hard. And he's like, "What are you laughing at?" Oh man, this podcast, it's so funny. Pod Chef, you gotta
Yeah.
listen. Yeah, I like to fast forward about half an hour in to when they get to the reviews, because that's the part I like. But man, it's so good when you get to that.
Sometimes they talk about going to the zoo and nothing really happens, but like other than that,
Okay.
solid
Okay.
pod.
All right.
Yeah, maybe
all
they
right.
Also
get
from like
oddly
50
specific.
years ago, maybe we don't think it's current.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never sharing what I do during the week ever again. It's a nice gentleman stroll.
You
through
just
the
got to
zoo.
know which stories to tell. Like I went peach picking this weekend, and I'm not gonna tell a story because nothing happened.
Okay, well, I thought this might be an
But I
interesting
am gonna make a pie out of it, though.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna make a
Hell
pie out of
yeah.
it too.
Oh yes.
Reeves is frozen.
Yep. I'm frozen.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're back
now
now.
You're back.
You can see me. Okay. I wonder what
Yeah.
happened. You guys weren't
Are you
frozen. for me.
delayed?
That's weird. Am I
Is
delayed?
Reeves delayed now?
Oh no.
You gotta do the test. Reeves, say yes after I have to say your name.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Is it really
Yeah,
delayed?
no.
Let's do it right this time. Yes.
Wait, why did you say yes?
Oh, whoops. Reeves.
Yes.
I think it was pretty good.
Okay. All right.
That's weird.
Oh, you're back, I think. All right.
Yeah, this movie's gonna be awesome. I hope that it from what I've seen so far, what I've heard so far, it's a who's who of this cast. I mean, I hope we can get this cast in. I mean,
Yeah.
like Childish
I'm sure we
Gambino,
can. I'm sure we
Roman
can.
Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
All it's going to take is Tom and Padma being in the movie. They can get the rest.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be a part of this.
Yeah, oh yeah. Everyone's gonna like fight for these roles.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a thing. People are going to like pay almost to have cameos. It's going to be like a Star Wars thing where it's like people
Yep.
want to have cameos in it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
And
it's
you
what he's
won't even
going for.
know. Like some of the Cuisinart bots will be played by like Adam Pally and things like that.
Mhm.
It'll be like Cuisinart art. I can't say that. Cuisinart bot 3000
Yeah.
Adam Pally, and you never know it until you saw the credits.
It is a mouthful, that name, and I gave up on saying it halfway through reading the script.
We can
But-
shorten it to Cab.
Cab,
Mm.
that works better.
All the Cab bots.
Because I
Cuisinart
feel
bots.
like they're going to be in the movie a lot, and that
Yeah.
might be tiring to say that.
Oh, I'm so excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, so I guess we'll get something again next week. See where it
All
goes.
right.
Hopefully, it gives me more
can't wait.
information on like where he's at with it or anything.
Yeah. Well, all right, let's move on to Chefs I Prepared for You. This is the segment we always do where we talk about what we had for dinner last night and only last night. And we present it to you as if we're presenting it to the top chef judges. I'll go first. Chefs I Prepared for You. Baked wild sockeye salmon fillets. Broccoli sauteed in garlic butter. It was so good. And whipped sweet potatoes.
Wow, that sounds great. Wait,
Oh, it was
you how long did
amazing.
you bake it for?
It was on 325 for 22 minutes.
Okay.
You don't want to. So here's a little thing. You don't want to cook fish on high temperature because then you get that protein. That's what's it called, simulac
I know
coming
what you're
out.
talking about. It's like the white stuff that comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you cook fish, salmon specifically, too harshly, you get that coming out of it, like we've seen in Top Chef past.
Mhm.
So you lower the temperature, cook it longer. Oh, it doesn't stress the proteins, and it's just this succulent, juicy fish.
Mm-hmm. That sounds great.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
It was
Okay,
good.
chefs, I prepared for you.
I forgot to take a picture of it though.
Oh, I just sent my picture. It'll come through in a million years. My lovely wife prepared a chickpea pasta with some meat sauce, little mozzarella, little basil, along with a side of a caprese salad with some heirloom
With them
tomatoes.
heirlooms, I see those. I got that picture.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. All the
I love when the
colors.
tomatoes aren't red. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah. Do you ever
Okay.
bite into it and your like taste buds are always expecting something else, like a pepper or something like that, and then it's like, oh, this was a tomato
All along.
all along.
Yeah, because you want it to be red and then it's not, and then it's like, oh no, this is still a tomato all along.
Mm-hmm. The whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's the end of
Whole
that for
time.
me.
That sounds
Well, it
good.
looks good. Sounds good. I got to keep remembering to take photos so that everyone can drool over my food as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
Okay. Brian, go ahead. Tell us where you bought food.
We did buy food. However, the special occasion, chefs, last night we procured for ourselves, my wife and I, Ethiopian food from a restaurant because we are celebrating our anniversary. We have been married for 6 years. No, 6 years, 6 wonderful years. We went out to eat. We ate outside at a Ethiopian place in Montclair, and it was really nice and very delicious. And all the restaurants in Montclair are mostly BYO because there's like some weird New Jersey alcohol law thing. There's a wine shop right next door. Bought a bottle of our own. Saved a ton of money by doing that. It was great.
That's cool. Has it always been like that in Jersey where you had to like bring your own alcohol?
Couldn't tell you.
That's interesting.
I read that it's like some sort of like they're weird about the licenses. So places just do BYO, which they're losing a ton of money, but I'm saving a ton of money. So,
Well, you're bringing 40s in, right? Like you.
yeah. No,
Miller
we
Lite.
we do Edward 40 hands when we eat.
Yeah, which is
People love
to,
it.
really
do
hard.
something for your celebration here. I was trying to make it a big celebration, but I don't think it worked.
What are you trying to do? Play a sound?
All right, tell your story again.
with this music, this whimsical music in the background.
Go ahead.
I'm not telling my story again. We're at 40
Come
minutes.
on, this
We're
needs
at
a celebration.
minutes.
Okay, we'll put this music in. Okay,
I'll put it over
color
your
it up.
story. I'll put it over
No.
your story. Actually, not under your story, over your story. It'll just be that. You won't be able to hear you talking.
That might work. It might work. My story needed something.
It was a nice story.
No, it wasn't. You don't have to be nice. All right,
Nothing happened.
I was kind
I
of
saw
waiting
some
for
animals. What are you talking
like,
about?
a moment of, and then this happened or this crazy thing happened.
No,
That didn't.
nothing
It was
happened.
just it was so much. I was nice. I think it was nice.
Yeah, it was a nice walk at the zoo.
You were by yourself?
Mm-hmm. Nice walk, stroll through the zoo.
Was anybody looking at you weird being by yourself at the zoo?
Why would they look at me weird?
That just seems like a weird thing to do.
And now we're getting into Brian's insecurities because he would not do this by
I
himself.
would never go to the zoo alone. People would
Yes.
assume that had like nefarious reasons. They'd be like, "What are you casing the joint?
Yeah.
Are you trying to see if you can
Yeah.
break in to hang out with the monkeys?"
You're gonna rob
Yeah.
this zoo? Come in
Yeah,
and steal all the animals.
Look, I've heard of how rewarding but difficult owning a monkey can be,
Mhm.
and now I'm interested and I want to go. And Jamal, don't get mad that we're doing monkey talk again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoehorn it in.
Go ahead.
No, that's it.
I wish you did this when I was talking about fucking monkeys. Fucking waited an hour later to
No,
bring it up.
I saved it
And
for
add-
myself and my own
Yeah.
jokes.
Yeah, lucky me.
What's the name of this episode?
Cooking.
Hold on,
by
I have
the
a question for you
numbers.
guys.
Okay.
When you guys cook, do you like measure your food out, or do you mostly cook stuff that you can just, off the top of your head how to spice it, how much is enough?
Oh yeah, I measure all the time. I'm all about the numbers when it comes to cooking.
You're all about the numbers.
Yeah, I do like cups and teaspoons, but I've been looking at buying a little scale.
It's worth it.
Okay. All right. So I do a mixture thing. I have a food scale.
Mm-hmm. Use grams.
Using the grams, so I know how much goes in, and then I measure how much comes out.
And how do you do that? You poop in a bucket?
So we're all cooking by numbers, and that's the episode this week. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Pod Chef.
And we're back, season 3, episode 5 of Top Chef. We're reviewing. This is cooking by numbers, and I'm not really sure why that's the heading title, but that is the episode title. Right off the bat, I just want to say there's a shot of Casey's feet in the opening shot. Let's go, feet freaks. Let's go.
I had to go back and see what she was doing. Only for that reason only. I was not getting a second peek at the toes. I was going back to see what she was doing because it looked like she was like it looked like she was like making something out of leather. I didn't know what was going on. I was very confused.
All right.
I do want to say that the reason that cooking by numbers sounds weird is because the term is paint by numbers, so it would be cook by numbers. That's why it sounds weird.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't work. That's the main issue. Is I wish they came up with a better title because this one's not working for
These
me.
titles are bad. Like they're all like family favorites. Cooking, they're like pretty awful.
And there's a person who's hired to do this, and it's like just whatever your effort level is right now, just one step above.
Just go a little harder.
Just one step above. Just give it 5 more minutes.
Just like don't do the first thing that comes to your head. He's
Yeah,
like,
write down the first thing that comes to your head. Write that down on a piece of paper.
Throw it away.
Throw it in the trash.
Right in the trash.
Lighter fluid in the trash. Take a match. Drop it in the trash. Burn it. Don't ever think about it again.
Take that trash can outside.
Take that trash can outside. Crumple that up.
Crumple the trash can up because you're super strong.
Yeah, throw it into another trash can and then put into a bigger trash can. Put lighter fluid on that. Set that on fire. Then take that huge trash can. Take it to a garbage dump.
In Canada.
Squash it up and put it into a metal melting furnace. Okay?
Turn it into a plastic bottle.
That's where your ideas belong.
That's recycling. And now you're helping the environment with your bad ideas.
Did you guys see the shot of when the chefs are walking into the kitchen and Hung flings open the door and doesn't hold it for anyone behind him? And he's walking in with a big smile on his face, and CJ just catches the door and he's like, jackass.
Hung is very funny.
Yeah. He's trying a little too hard for me. You gotta want to be evil. You can't try and be evil.
You can't force it,
Yeah.
right? You got to be naturally evil. And he is kind of forcing it at this point.
Yeah, I feel like Marcel was like naturally evil in that he was just like, I'm just not fun to be around. Where Hung is like, I'm going to intentionally be unfun to be around.
So this episode does class it up a bit because we got the one, the only, the global master mixologist for Bombay Sapphire Gin, Mr. Jamie Walker. And
he had a weird look to him.
Yeah.
Well, please walk us through it. What do you think is so weird about Mr. Jamie Walker?
It could just be because he's British, but it kind of looked like that big British guy in NXT.
Walter.
Okay.
Walter.
So it's a wrestling thing.
Yeah, it's more wrestling things. Yeah, Jamie looks like someone who is an asshole. And he definitely shows that later as we get him to like judge people's dishes. He says something about he wants the pairing to be a marriage made in heaven. And it's just a little, everything is a little too elevated to the point of I'm like, this is a fucking cooking show. Take it easy, guy.
Yeah. And seeing as you two, I mean, we're all married. So you guys, we all know marriages are made in heaven. And especially if you've picked right.
See, I was always told in church that that's not the case. Church told me that when you get to heaven, there's no husbands and wives.
It's
because you're all married to God and Jesus. And that sounds funny, but that's what you're supposed to do. Like
one huge key party.
You don't know your earthly relationships.
Interesting.
And isn't that sad? All you do all day is sing and walk around on gold. I don't know, man. It doesn't sound like it's for me.
Okay. Well, they make stupid food that was kind of boring. This quickfire challenge, they had to pair the drinks with random food the drinks were selected by random, but they had to pair food with it. And Casey wins because she makes French toast baguette with pecan crusted foie gras, raspberry sauce, and strawberry
Again.
gin ricky.
Foie is a guaranteed
Foie.
win.
Yeah, it's a
Foie.
guaranteed. This is the only bird you can cook that people will be like, yes.
Well, you're allowed to cook the inner parts of birds. The yucky parts they like.
I know.
All the gross stuff.
I've never had foie. Have you guys had foie gras before?
Nope.
Only
I
in
haven't.
France. It was the
You
only
can't have it
time-
here in America, right?
I was at a restaurant in where was I? I think it was Brescia. Had some foie gras, and it was
Did
great.
you call the cops?
I did. I got the place fucking shut down. Said,
Nice.
shut this down. And I
Nice.
kicked open a door, and there was a bunch of ducks in the back room. And I was like, I knew it.
That's how you got that reward from Peter.
Getting piped food or whatever it is.
Yeah. Sometimes you can humanely do it. We all listen to that, This American Life on it. It is tasty. It tastes like butter that's like bacon butter, basically.
I'll
yeah.
take your word for it.
Yeah.
I'm interested, but I'm never gonna have it.
I'm never gonna buy it.
It's not. It's
just
not
not my
People
cup of
probably
tea.
Shouldn't eat it. Yeah.
But anyways, Hung thinks Jamie Walker is confused, and he questions him and says, "So the sweet and the cream didn't go together? Okay, got it."
It's called sweet cream. It's in the title.
He goes, "I don't think Jamie Walker knows food very well."
I liked it because he looked around like everyone is going to be on my side about this, and everyone knows that I'm making a joke, and no one gave a shit. People were just like, whatever. Let's just get through this.
But the real issue here is that Jamie Walker is a very confident food judge. Take a listen.
I have the Sapphire Sherry. So I did a seared foie gras with candied parsnips and an orange and rice wine vinegar gastrique.
Just by tasting this, I can tell this is going to work. It works. Cheers.
Cheers.
You have a tough job.
Could you imagine if he was just like, I was wrong?
If he
starts,
spit it
like,
out in a
vomiting
napkin
in his
and he was
mouth.
like,
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Oh, God. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Oh, God.
Yeah, this doesn't pair well. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So he feels like it's similar to, whatever it was, Steven in season 1. This feels like some kind of actor plant. This person does not feel like a real person. He
Yeah.
says that. It works.
It works. I think it's going to work. And it works.
And it works.
It's like he was doing like golf. This appears like it's going to work.
Yeah. And he's
And
done
works.
it.
He's done it. It
Congratulations.
worked. Everyone is cheering. Everyone is happy.
What's that soccer player on DC United who's from England?
Wayne Rooney?
Beckham?
Wayne Rooney. It's like one of the announcers for soccer is like, and here comes Rooney up the middle here. I'm not sure it's going to work. It looks like it's going to work. Oh, and it works.
And do you believe it actually
And
works?
do you believe it? It actually works.
He's actually done it. Yeah.
He's done it.
Yeah. So he
They
does
won the chip.
chips. That's probably what he wants.
He's done it.
He's done it.
Masterful. And then didn't even win.
Damn
Yeah,
it, he's
no.
done it.
Didn't win.
I like the guy. He always has a mohawk and he wears a bandana a lot. It's a pretty cool look.
Mm-hmm.
This is Dale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Dale. Dale's cool. He's does not have a good episode this episode, but
No, he does not. Not his best episode.
I do like him.
So Casey wins, and Padma doesn't tell her she has immunity. Just says that you can't be eliminated. And I
Yeah.
feel like Padma accidentally read Kaylee Joel's script from season 1.
She forgot.
But then they got to split up teams. So in teams of 3, the contestants now got to prepare a tasting menu of 4 courses, each consisting of trios around a central ingredient. So they got to cook. Each got to cook an individual ingredient in 4 courses. And when they divided themselves up, it was a shit show. It was a shit show when they divided themselves up.
Yeah. It was so funny to see Brian be like, hey, immediately. It was almost like he was thinking about it. He's like, let's just, everyone get some names down. We're going to put them in a, hat, and we're just going to draw things
Yeah.
randomly. And I was, this is a terrible idea. And immediately everyone's like, let's switch around and pick what we actually want to do.
Yeah.
And they cut it. They cut it, of course. But Brian was like in the corner, and he was just like, I thought it was. I mean, it's a good idea. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to leave, I mean, sure.
If you
like,
want to leave, fine, leave.
Feels like this is more fair if we do it this way.
Yeah,
I
no,
feel
it's
like
fine.
they
No,
should
you're
have
right.
did
Yeah.
hand-to-hand combat and figured out who could do what, and then who's good at cooking. Like if people wanted to cook the same thing, like Hung wanted to do scallops, I think. So I feel like they should have had a hand-to-hand combat, battle it out.
Yeah, just be like, I want to do first. No, I want to do first. Okay, then fight.
Yeah,
Mhm.
fight me for it.
Get in the
Fight me
octagon.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beat
get in the
me.
octagon.
Beat me, and you can have what you want.
It's empty till the end of the episode. Get in the octagon. No
Yeah,
one's using
yeah.
it until judges
Yeah.
table.
And we
Get in
know
now.
Gail's not even in this episode.
Exactly.
She's
So
not
you're
been in a
safe.
few episodes, and I think it's because she got too, worked up
Yeah,
and she had to
too
go
worked
away.
up. Yeah, well, she
She's
also
hiding
has
in the
to heal.
woods.
Yeah, she
she's
has to
hiding
heal.
in the Well, she doesn't have the Wolverine thing where she heals herself. She has to. It's slow.
Mhm. Normal healing factor. So
Yeah.
she's gotta lick her wounds and then come back,
Mhm.
and then the whole thing happens again.
Kick some ass.
Yeah.
So Casey ends up on a team with Howie and Joey, and they love
What?
each other.
When they were like drawing names, I was like, oh, of course, it's gonna be Howie and Joey, and oh, how random, and it didn't happen, and I was like, oh, okay, and then it did happen, and I was like, cool, of course, yeah, thank you, TV.
And Casey's already predicting a debacle.
So now I have Howie and I have Joey in a group. And there's a lot of buildup here. And I know that this is going to be difficult. I'm aggravated.
Casey said, and I know it's gonna be difficult. And then she took a drink and she went, yep, it's difficult.
Yeah,
It's too
it
hard.
works. It works.
It's difficult.
And it's difficult.
So I forget who says it, but there's anxiety in the air and everyone is on edge in the kitchen, and they are. Everyone's freaking out. I have a question. How many times is Ted Allen going to be an elimination judge this season?
I think
Like, is this
he's
just-
a judge this season.
he's
Okay,
there a
'cause he
lot. Yeah.
Seems like he's just subbing in for Bourdain because he's fucking scared. He doesn't want nothing to do with Howie.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Bourdain tucked his tail and ran.
Yeah.
Freaking tail tucker.
Did you guys watch the Bourdain doc yet?
Mm-mm.
No, I told you I'm over it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You don't like him anymore.
I'm not watching it.
No, I didn't say. I'll watch it when it's on.
A free thing.
Yeah, that I pay for.
So the guest judges are all wearing sashes and pendants like they are part of some cult. So
A bunch of
this.
fucking nerds.
Listen to this.
Our next challenge is a team challenge to cook for the Chen de Rôtissiers, which is a sort of supper club group. I think they might get like medals and have all sorts of pageantry around their necks.
Oh, I love all of your sashes.
Are the medals based on the volume of food that you eat then?
We do the diners that we're
They look stupid.
Yep. It looks
These
like if you have seen the HBO doc The Vow, it looks like they're in Nexium.
Yes. Yes. They look like characters from the
a
show
cult.
Vow.
Yeah.
Well, they all surely fuck each other, right? Like they eat. It's like we gorge ourselves on the feasts, and then we see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
The sashes are for what you're willing to do.
The end of this night must have been so confusing for Tom and Padma, where it was just
Yeah.
like they were like, okay, well, so should we all move into the bedroom now? Or whatever. And Tom's like, no, I'm going
Tom's
home.
like,
I gotta go home.
No, I'm going home. I
I
gotta
don't
go
have time
home.
to be here anymore. Got other stuff I gotta do.
And then Padma's like, definitely not.
Yeah, Padma turned them all down, and
Yeah,
they were like,
Padma's
"Oh,
like,
that's fine."
you're not. I'm out of your league. Definitely not.
yeah.
Joey was like, "I'll do it."
I guess I gotta
gotta
do this too. Oh,
We have
man.
to talk about Joey at the end of this episode because I didn't understand it.
You didn't understand him?
No, I didn't understand why he was crying so much at the end of the
Oh,
episode.
he did cry. What did he
did.
cook? What did they cook?
They cooked the oh boy, hold on.
Well, she did the tartar that didn't work.
Tuna trio.
That's right.
He was part of
That's
the
right.
tuna
Yeah,
trio.
because Joey said tuner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, "This last thing here that I made, it's
made-
tuner."
Yeah. Tuner.
Yep. He's
What is
fine.
happening back in this kitchen this episode? Howie's like still complaining that he has to cook on a time limit. Camila, who has only done one thing worth being on TV finally, which is her whisking on top of the stove while she's kneeling on top of the stove.
Interesting move. I guess we'll get to her a little bit later in the episode. But she kind of comes off in her interviews because she gets more interviews, which were I think like 2 this episode than she has in the other ones. Like she is maybe taking like a Xanax before she goes in to like film those because she is so quiet and so relaxed. She's like ready to fall asleep, But yeah, when she's cooking, she gets on the stove, sits on the stove. I don't
Yeah.
know why. I couldn't figure out why that was happening.
So Dale and the pineapple trio, which I just want to say they did not do pineapple justice. Here's my fruit rundown for everyone who wants to know. My favorite fruit to just eat by itself, pineapple. My favorite dessert fruit, apple. My favorite healthy fruit, blueberry. My favorite breakfast fruit, orange.
Well, that's nice that you've spread it out so much.
I've spread it out, okay? They've got systems. They don't cross. They don't mix match.
Well, Reeves has the same fruit for all those things, and it's grapefruit, right?
Grapefruit, every single one of them. A full grapefruit.
I was so mad that they messed up pineapple because, first of all, pineapple upside down cake is like in my top 5 of favorite cakes, and I'm not a huge cake person, but I love a pineapple upside down cake.
Some of my top 5s, but I don't really like cakes. They fucking suck. So really, it's garbage.
I really don't eat cake that much at all, but I do like a pineapple upside down cake. That's in there. I think it's number 4 on the list. And pineapple again.
What's your favorite breakfast cake?
My favorite breakfast cake is cinnamon streusel.
Okay. Your favorite healthy cake?
Healthy cake, pancake.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they make in later seasons of Top Chef? They would never do a dessert in a 4-course tasting, right?
No,
in like a
they would
6
just
or a 7, yes. In a 4,
no.
I feel like 7's got to be beef,
Yeah.
or 4's got to be beef.
Yeah, but they let the other team do beef. And they shouldn't have. Also, why are you following beef with pineapple? Since when are those two pairings?
Yeah, it's a weird.
If anything, you pair pork with pineapple, not beef. Anyways, the guests looked at the dessert and they hated it. So listen.
Have to choose a dessert course for us. They could have made something else, but they chose to be pastry chefs right now.
So points for difficulty.
I'm gonna start with the semifredo.
It just tastes like cream, like just frozen cream.
I think the semifredo itself is sort of lacking in flavor.
The upside down pineapple thing is hideous.
This is like an English dessert, which is absolutely dreadful.
Isn't that good?
So one of the things my dad used to do all the time was he would make cakes all the time for people at work. He was the boss, and he would bring in cakes for people's birthdays.
Cake boss.
And he would this is why I like pineapple upside down cake, because he like had mastered it, because apparently so many people where he worked like pineapple upside down cake. So it would be like a pineapple upside down cake, like especially in the summer where there's like a lot of birthdays, there's like pineapple upside down cake just churning out. Like the smell was always filling the house. And so I think that's why it's one of my favorite cakes. So the fact that they did it so bad kind of is really personally pissing me off. And I'm thinking about finding out where they live and giving them a piece of my mind face to face.
Piece of your cake.
A piece of my cake. And be like, and you know what? I'm going to bring the cake and say, take a bite. And they take a bite and go, that's how you cook it. Okay? From now on, that's how you cook it.
That's how it should taste. That's
what it should taste like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That would be good for them. And then they would maybe learn from their mistakes.
Yeah, but they didn't do that here, do they?
No, they hated all the desserts, and they were like, why did you do this?
Yeah.
And they were like, this sucks. And Tom even tried to tell him that this sucks.
He said, this is a stupid idea. You're going to do a bad job. And he was right. He was 100% right.
He also asked people, why aren't they tasting their food before serving it?
That's a big thing with Tom.
Yeah. So we have our first ever baking 101. We have cooking 101, but this is our first ever, I think, baking 101, and this is from Tom. So listen.
Part of me would like to tell Dale to go home because it was his lack of leadership.
Do we hold him accountable for that?
He was the one who said, hey, let's do dessert.
Camille, Sarah.
Camila, there was nothing. She couldn't articulate anything that she was trying to do.
Probably one of the worst desserts I've had in 5 years.
Why would you want cornmeal to make pineapple upside down cake?
Well, that to me, I think, is baking 101.
Baking 101. You do not use cornmeal to make a pineapple upside down cake. What were you thinking?
101. You're supposed to take all of your 101 courses before you come to Top Chef.
Yes.
Baking 101.
Baking 101.
Cooking
101. Seasoning 101.
Mm-hmm.
Meal prep 101. Mise en place 101.
Improv 101.
Improv 101.
Mm-hmm. Sketch 101.
Michael Hartney.
Business 101.
Mm-hmm. Econ 101.
Mm-hmm. Astrology 201.
Mm-hmm.
Astronomy
You can
Club, UCB. What I want to talk about, Tom told me a story. He said, hey, you know how, when he sent me that,
Hold on, Brian.
that tape.
Before you do this, this has been a very tough episode for Bits. So
This is a good one. This is a good one. This is a good one.
Just know that maybe in another episode we would be firing on all cylinders and we would be able to like really elevate whatever idea you have. This episode, listen, the chances when you come up to the plate are so low of getting on base.
No, I'm feeling good. I'm gonna right the ship. I'm gonna turn this bus around and we're gonna head to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
In that clip, Tom says it's the worst dessert he's had in 5 years. So I reached out to Tom and I said, Tom, you sent me this cassette tape. I don't know what it is. And also you said it's the worst dessert you've had in 5 years. This is the 3rd season of Top Chef. So it's not related to the show. It's clearly some dessert you had 5 years ago that was really bad. And he said, oh, you caught that, right? Said, yeah, I caught it. You said it. We don't miss anything on this podcast. This is what we're doing. Tell me what the worst dessert you ever had more than 5 years ago was. And he told me, he's on the phone. And he said, all right, let's go to the FaceTime. Went to FaceTime and he said, I want you to see me when I say this. No, I'm not joking. Look me in the eyes. He looked me right dead in the eyes. He said, the worst dessert I ever had, I had it 6 years ago. It was in Tijuana, Mexico. I didn't know what I was ordering. I don't speak Spanish, but it sounded good. And I got it, and it was a shoe full of whipped cream.
Why would that even be on the menu? Oh, Tom.
He had to eat the whole thing because he didn't want to be rude and culturally insensitive.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say it was onion ice cream at Barefoot Contessa's with Berton's Bird.
That would have been fun if I would have done a reference to something in our show. No, but this is a real story. He had a shoe full of whipped cream. Zapatos.
That's crazy. I noticed you mentioned that you told him that you had that cassette tape.
Yeah.
Did he give you any information on that, or
he just told me to play it?
Okay. So it's still gone unlistened to.
Yeah, but I'll listen to it. He was like, just play it. I don't have cassette. Play it.
Play it.
He said he ate a shoe full of whipped cream, and it wasn't even good whipped cream.
Oh no!
It was like the low-fat stuff that's in the freezer.
It's gross.
It comes in the tub. It wasn't fresh.
Oh no!
And there was no maraschino cherries in it. On top of it, nothing.
Those of us in the baking industry who have ever worked in bakery, we know that as called better cream because it's fat-free. They call it better cream.
Better cream?
Yeah, that's what they call it. The fat-free whipped cream is called better cream.
What's it better than?
It's fat-free. It's not really better. You'd want the original one. It tastes like nothing.
So worse cream.
Yeah.
A dessert that my mom ate a lot when I was a kid because she was always very concerned about her food intake. And this is before people realized how food worked in the 90s, is she would eat sugar-free Jell-O and freezer whipped cream, and like that's the dessert.
Yeah.
And she's like, there's no fat in it.
That's a very old school. I feel like we would have almost the exact same thing. So it's like Jell-O with that kind of whipped cream on top, and it's like, this is a dessert. This is actually very healthy for you. It's not bad. It's got fruit in it.
Yeah.
This is the best thing that you could possibly eat for you for dessert. Yeah.
No discernible fruit, but fruit flavors.
And then one day someone was like, you know what? Sugar's bad for you. And everyone was like, what?
What? Next thing you're going to be telling me cigarettes are bad for me.
Never. No. I got a case in my car. I'm going to go eat them when I take a nice drive.
So it's also called better cream because original cake icing is called buttercream. So it's,
Now it makes sense.
Buttercream.
All right. So Camille's eliminated. Listen.
Yep.
Camille. Please pack your knives and go. Good luck to you.
Well, I'm quite sad about being eliminated, of course, but, anxious to get back to New York and see how the restaurant's going. I'll be leaving. I just want to say you guys are so brilliantly talented, and I want you to rock hard. This will change the way I cook dramatically. I mean, I met wonderful cooks.
You're right. Come on, guys, let's give it to me. I feel incredibly guilty. I feel that it's my fault that Camille is gone.
At the end of the day, I'm really happy that I took that risk, that I learned a lot, that I had fun doing it. That's what cooking's all about.
At the end of this episode, when she's saying her goodbye, Joey is like bawling his eyes out. And I want to know why. Like, are they related?
Joey and Camille?
Yeah, because he's like bawling his eyes out like his best friend's moving across the country and he won't see them anymore.
They're both New York, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he's like, oh, another New Yorker. I can't believe it. We're supposed to stick together. All the New Yorkers. Me. This girl, I can't remember her name. Joey, even though Joey's from Florida. Tom, even though I hate Tom and I want to beat him up anytime he makes fun of me. It's so hard. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that was about.
For me, as someone who lived in New York for a while, there's almost like a twin thing. If something happens to any New Yorker, you feel it. Like it's like they're your twin. We're all New York strong. And so when something happens, you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Was this bit better than the shoe thing? The shoe thing was funny.
All right. So that's the end of the episode, I think, this week for us. We're all batting 250 right now.
250 is good. I'd love to bat 250 this episode.
250 is not bad.
All right. We're batting 150. How about that?
That's pretty bad.
That's not good.
All right. So we're batting 150 on bits this episode. We'll try and pick up the next week. If you're still listening, please go
They're not.
Follow us on Twitter at Podchef Podcast or follow us on Instagram, Podchef Podcast. And please leave us a review. Any constructive criticism you have for the show is more than welcome. Reeves is looking for it, so we have a fun bit to do at the beginning of the show.
Oh, we need end bits.
Yeah,
remember,
we're
supposed to come up with an ending bit, an ending segment.
We're supposed to come up with an ending segment. There will be an ending segment next week. But until then, we're going to end it the same way we've ended the entire time. Pack our knives and go.